Hi everybody, it's Fee Rai, Juice Plus Wellness, and I am here for another one of our amazing wellness webinars. And today I am joined by the amazing Mel Hobers, super mama of four and one of our Juice Plus Wellness ambassadors. And Mel is going to share some tips and tricks around stress-free lives. So Mel, I'm going to handball straight over to you. Thank you for being here with us today.
You're very welcome. It's funny, mama of four and tips on stress kind of come hand in hand. So let me just bring up. Cool, guys. Thank you so much for having me, and good morning to everyone. I'm really excited to be here and to talk about something that is so crucial for all of us, but particularly us as women and mums as well, reducing stress in our lives. And as I reflected on this topic, and in this area of my own health and life, I came to realize that for me personally, it actually takes a lot to stress me out. I'm usually pretty chill with most things. So then I was thinking, well, why am I like that? Because surely I haven't always been that way, especially as I've added more kids to the mix over the years. And, you know, as far back as I can remember, I have been like this, even with my uni days, entering motherhood, working along that side, all the things. And I think for me personally, it really does come down to a couple of things: being organized, but also practicing some really simple yet powerful habits, which I will share with you guys in a little bit as well. So it's not so much a control thing for me. But I just have such a full life. As Fee mentioned, I've got four kids. And if I wasn't so organized, honestly, life would be chaos. And I don't want chaos. My soul craves peace and simplicity. And being organized and on time brings me those things in my day to day life. Now, I know that we're all busy. I know it's all relative. It doesn't matter if you've got one child, if you've got no children, you work full time, you're a stay at home mum. Life can just often feel like a juggling act. And, as a mum with no family nearby, no support crew as far as the family side of things goes, my days are filled with kids' sports and activities, their social lives, which are way better than mine, the never ending schedules. And honestly, plus my own business, my own work, working on my own health and fitness, managing the home, the list goes on. Oh, not to mention hubby too. Let's not forget him. So, I understand how easy it is to get caught up in the whirlwind of daily life and to really start feeling that overwhelm, because I've been there multiple times. And so that's why today I'm going to dive into the importance of managing your stress, not just for your mental well-being, but also for your physical health as well, because as we know, they're both greatly interlaced and linked. So I just want to start off by quickly, I guess, helping you to understand what stress actually is and the effects that it has on your body. I'm not going to go into too much of the sciencey stuff to put you to sleep, but this it's really important that you do understand how it links. Okay, so let's start really simply by understanding what stress is. Stress is our body's response to any challenge or demand. It can come from external sources like your job, your work, or your family, which is a big one for me, your responsibilities, there's social pressures, and even internal sources like your own thoughts and feelings. And, that pressure that we put on ourselves to show up in a certain way, to dress a certain way, um, to always play at a certain level, that's included in that as well. So stress isn't always bad though. In fact, short bursts of stress can actually be quite motivating and help you perform better in certain situations. But when stress becomes chronic, that's when it can have a really serious impact on your health in all aspects: physical, mental, spiritual, all the things. So, on a physical level, chronic stress can actually lead to a whole host of issues. It increases the risk of heart disease, weakens our immune system, and can actually cause digestive problems. Stress also triggers the release of cortisol, which is a hormone that in high levels can actually contribute to weight gain, particularly around the abdomen, particularly in women. So it's not just our physical health, though, as I did mention earlier. Um, it's mentally that chronic stress can lead to other areas of your life, like anxiety and depression, and even burnout. It can make you irritable, irrational, it can affect your sleep, and just really reduce your ability to concentrate. And I know for me as a mum, I've certainly had stress at certain points in my life affect all of those areas. And it's really important to be present and patient with our kids. It's important for me. That's a value of mine. But thinking back, I can certainly pick out moments in my parenting journey where stress has probably been the driving force behind my behavior. So it's just really important to remember that it doesn't just affect you as well, I guess, is what I'm trying to say there. So I really now, that's enough of the sciencey stuff. I now want to speak directly to the women and particularly the mums here. We often take on the role of the nurturer, the organizer, the problem solver. We wear all the hats, yeah? The referee, the cook, the cab driver, every single day. But we're usually the ones then that are holding everything together in the home. Not always, obviously, but usually. And that does come with a heavy load of stress. Now, when you're constantly on the go, it's really easy to overlook your own needs. I've been there, quite recently, even a few months ago, trying to manage all the kids' sports, their homework, the household tasks, all while trying to keep everything running smoothly. And let's be honest, it's exhausting. But if we don't take steps to help manage that stress, it can start to take a toll on both your physical and your mental health. And as mums, we need to remember that that we can't pour from an empty cup. We're not taking care of ourselves. We're not going to be able to take care of our kids, our family in the way that we want to. And that's why, for me, reducing stress and making my health a top priority is so important. So, how can we reduce the stress in our lives? How do I help to reduce stress in my life? So, I'm just going to share with you a few tips and tricks and strategies, I guess you could call them, that have worked for me over the years. And I guess as my years have gotten more busy, as you go through those stages of young kids, older kids, nearly teenagers here, and everything in between. And for me, the number one that came to mind as I was creating this list was to stay organized. One of the biggest sources of stress for me is feeling like I'm not on top of things. And I found that staying organized is key. I plan my week in advance. I'll sit down on a Sunday afternoon or evening, look at my diary for the week ahead, making sure that I know what's coming up with my kids as well. I've got one of those really big family, I guess it's called a family planner. It's like a calendar, and everybody has a column with their names along the top, the dates, and then what is on any given day for my kids. I actually have that in the kitchen because let's be honest, I spend a lot of time in the kitchen, so I'm constantly glancing at it as well. Other things like meal planning has also certainly helped me um, cut back on the stress of what am I going to feed my family that's healthy and nourishing, especially having all of their sports activities and trainings and things in the afternoon straight after school. So that absolutely reduces a lot of my stress and feeling overwhelmed. The second tip that I'd love to share with you is to prioritize your health. Taking care of your health is like, it's not even just essential, like it's like nothing functions without you being at your best, I guess. So making time for regular exercise, even if it's just a quick walk, which I used to do quite often, but had got lax over the 6 months leading into the end of last year as the kids' schedules ramped up. We were away for holidays. I'm that person that lives in a small country town. The closest gym is about 20 minutes away, which is, I know, not far, but I live in a small country town for a reason because I don't like to drive far. And so I'd kind of gone, well, I don't have time in my schedule to drive to the gym and drive home again. It's 40 minutes of time that I could be using doing something else. So I just wasn't doing anything. I will own that and admit that. And for me, back in February this year, when the Juice Plus Wellness app came into my hot little hands, I grabbed hold of it with both hands and haven't looked back. I'm able to work out in the comfort of my own home, literally in pockets of time. I was awake this morning randomly at 5:40. I got up and did a 17-minute workout, and I feel amazing for it, all before the day started. And honestly, it's changed my life. So fitness is a big one. Staying hydrated, as we know, eating a variety of whole foods and really balanced meals when you can, which is, I guess, goes back to the meal planning as well. Prepping on a Sunday if you can. I've started to get into that habit so I don't have to think about it. Um, Supplementing well, as we know, and then obviously getting enough sleep. And, when you prioritize your health, especially in these particular areas, you're so much better equipped to handle whatever life throws your way. Because let's be honest, most days don't go to plan, or they don't in my world anyway. So, the third tip that I'd love to share with you all is something that's become a non negotiable for me personally. And I will also admit that it's something that's fairly new to my life. I'm 39, and I reckon probably the last 12 to 18 months, this has been something that's really helped me more than so many other things. And it's practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness, I've come to learn, is a powerful tool for reducing my stress levels. Taking just a few minutes each day to focus on my breathing and be present in the moment, whether that's at the start of the day or multiple points throughout my day, it honestly just helps to bring calm to your mind and bring that sense of peace and clarity. Number four would be connecting with others. Don't underestimate the power of social support. I'm a big social person. I love also being by myself, but I do find that when it's been too long of being by myself, I'm craving other people's um, their presence, their interaction, that conversation, especially with other mums, because let's be honest, we're constantly talking. It's just to kids and to little people. So having someone there to talk to can just really help you feel less isolated, which I've found to play a big role on my mental health, I guess, more than anything too. So leading off that is my next point. Set boundaries. It's okay to say no sometimes. We often feel like we have to do it all and be at everything. And that's simply not true. Setting boundaries and knowing your limits can help reduce that stress and even prevent that burnt out feeling that I mentioned earlier. Number six for me was to schedule me time. Carve out some time for just you. Yesterday, I took myself off for a 90-minute massage, and it was the best thing I've done for myself in probably 4 or 5 months. For you, that could be just finding a nice quiet spot to read a book. It could be taking a bath or doing something creative. Having that time to recharge is so crucial. It's not selfish, no matter what anyone tells you, and no matter what that false mum guilt or that side of your brain is telling you. It is a necessity. And this last one is to laugh more. And it sounds so simple and almost so silly, but laughter is such a great stress reliever. Watch a funny movie, spend time with people that make you laugh, or just find the humor in the little things. It's a really easy way to lighten your mood and reduce your stress. So, in closing, I know that's been a lot of talking, but in closing, I'd really love to just remind you guys that stress is a part of life. There's no escaping it. Not that I've found anyway. So, but it doesn't have to be what controls you. It doesn't have to control your life. And for me, I found that by taking conscious steps to manage my stress or um, to reduce the effect it has on me when my day doesn't go to plan or one of the kids is having a moment, etc. It can help to protect your physical health, your mental health, and everything in between. And as women, especially mums again, it is easy to put everyone else's needs above our own. But we need to remember that our well-being matters too. We need to become one of the top priorities as well. And when we take care of ourselves, we're in a better position to take care of our families and face those challenges with a clear mind, and for me, also with confidence. This allows us to deal with unforeseen changes, to be able to react more fluidly, and to go with the flow. So, thank you guys for taking the time to be here today. I hope you found these insights helpful, and I'd love to encourage you to take some time this week to focus on reducing stress in your life. Not just because you deserve it, um, even if you just focus on one small thing and work your way up from there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mel. That was great. Good reminders all round. And I think what I'm loving about this your generation of mamas coming through is that you are really so much more in tune with this. I think some of us who went through this phase of being busy was a status symbol. It was, if you weren't busy, if you weren't hectic, if you weren't 100 miles an hour, and back in
That's
the
right.
day, it was overcommitment was the word that they loved in interviews. What's your biggest failing? I'm overcommitted. Oh, we love overcommitted people. Like, seriously, that's what life was like. It was like you could pin a trophy on being busy, which honestly was just so stressful. And so I love everything that you've spoken to us about today. Thank you so much for sharing your personal experience and giving some insight to other women, particularly. It's for the boys too.
Absolutely.
And just remember, some stress is good. We want some stress. We can't be completely zen. And by what I mean by that is I think of going to the gym or using the wellness app. When you're putting your body under a bit of stress, your body needs a little bit of stress to improve your bone density and
Right.
improve your muscle compound and your lean muscle mass. We need to put our body under a little bit of stress,
Mhm.
but not the stress that, we're
Chronic
still
stress.
thinking about when we're trying to get to sleep at night.
Yeah.
So great tips. Thank you so much for joining us. Love chatting to you and having you here on our wellness webinar series. So thank you so much for joining us once more.
You're welcome. See ya.
Thanks, guys.